Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here. And before we get started, my shout out goes to Luca1234RC. Luca1234RC was the first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus wins today's shout out. So congratulations, Luca. What do I got for you today? This is a neat new quadcopter, the Syma X5UW-D model. Now you've seen me, I've demonstrated the original X5UW about a year and a half ago. But here it is a year and a half later, and what's new? We got something new on this today. Syma has incorporated, and I told you, remember I said this is going to be the year of the optical flow sensor quadcopters? Well, they've incorporated an optical flow sensor on this. Okay, now the X5UW can maintain its position, similar to a GPS quadcopter, without the need of a GPS. All it's doing is looking down at the ground and making sure that image doesn't change on the ground by, applying corrections to keep itself in position without a GPS. Additionally, it has altitude hold system incorporated, so it also maintains altitude. So it's supposed to be able to conduct a automatic hover without need of your input. So what you can do is just put this in the air, since this is a camera drone, and focus on taking photos and videos with it instead of flying it. Okay, that's what the idea is. And I think that is a neat idea. Other things we got on this drone, let me go over it. We have a camera that can be tilted remotely up or down via the remote controller. That's pretty neat in itself. It's 720p HD. Now it does transmit 720p HD to your phone if you want to record it that way, but it also incorporates a microSD card slot in the back so you can record it directly to an SD card. And I recommend doing that because what this does is this minimizes or eliminates the Wi-Fi lag and frame dropping that you normally see on a Wi-Fi FPV flyer. So you're getting video directly recorded to the card instead of incorporating, sending it out via Wi-Fi stream and then you're losing a lot of the data that way. This way you'll get much smoother video. So recommend using a card to record your video. Additionally, it has a 500 milliamp hour 3.7 volt battery. It is a proprietary battery, a Syma battery, so you're going to need to buy these Syma batteries from Syma or companies that are selling this. They should be out though and available because the X5UW has been out for about a year and a half. But again, this D model is an upgraded version which includes the new D sensor or optical flow sensor. Now let's go over the controller. The controller is similar to, actually the same as before. We have, you can set the camera angle down or up using these two buttons here. This is down and this will raise the angle of the button or the camera. You can record video by pressing this button here or take a photo by pressing this button here. The quadcopter can do flips, which you can do by pressing this button here, and automatic takeoff and landings, which you do by pressing this button here. It does have headless mode, and you can change the rates by a quick press of this button here, or enter headless mode by holding down this right stick, and then it will enter into headless mode. And you're probably going to want to do this since this is a camera drone and you're going to be flying with optical flow. Use that headless mode, and that comes in handy aiming the drone. So that's about it. Oh, it has a new app. It used to use the old Syma Go app. Now it has the Syma Fly app. So hopefully that'll be have a few more features that the Syma Go app did not have. Let's go for a fly this thing and see how it performs. Hope you enjoy this flight. Okay, this is the Syma Fly app. Now, again, we want to record the SD card. You can record to your phone if you want using the app, but we are going to use the button on the SD card. And the way that you confirm that if it's recording or not is to look at these back green lights. They are flashing when the quadcopter is recording. Right now they're not flashing, but I am going to press the video button to start the recording. And again, it does not show up on the app whether you're recording or not. And, if you do press that record button, again, this records to the app only. It does not record to the microSD card. If you want to record to the microSD card, you've got to use the controller. And we double check that by looking for that blinking light. We got blinking green light. So we're ready to take off. So let's try the automatic takeoff button. And it drifted a bit there, but now it's maintaining its position. And now it's not. It lost its position because it saw my shadow, I think. So let's do an automatic landing. What I want to do, folks, is put it on the flat level surface Let's try that again. Well, it's still recording, still blinking. And we're going to do a gyro calibration. This is relatively flat and level. And Syma does gyro calibrations by down and to the right. So that should have done it. Let's get our shadow out of the way and try this again. Automatic takeoff. And there we go. That helped it. Now let's go up a little bit higher. A little bit higher. And I am going to go over here and we're going to give it a little bit of yaw. Turning it toward me. And that yaw caused it to drift a bit. So it's drifting. I'm flying it now. Let's go back over this way. Let go of the stick. Let's see if that drift stops. Turning it to the left. And there, it stopped. Took a while to do that. You know, the optical flow sensor is not the best sensor in the world on this, but it does work, but not that great. Let's lower that camera. Lowering it. Is that the lowest it can go? Oh no, it can go much lower. That's down, this is up. I'm looking for me. There I am. Okay. There it is working. Well, the reason I wave focus in these videos is that synchronizes the camera. I can use that these gestures to help synchronize the camera. But it's holding its position now. But again, it took a while to do that. I don't know if the surface of the ground here is difficult for it, but it seems to be working now. But let's go up a little bit higher and let's see how high we need to go before it starts drifting again. Oh, I just gave it a little nudge and it started to drift again. Let's see if it'll stop itself. It doesn't seem to want to be stopping itself. Let's see if I can correct that by giving it a little, trying to get it to hover by itself. Let's come a little lower. Let's see if that helps it. Yeah. Okay. That seems to be the issue, folks. You can't go really too high with this to get the optical flow to work. Let me raise that camera. Okay, it's working now. It's holding its position now, as you can see. Let me see if I can turn it without it moving again. Turn it that way. So, about 6 feet. It seems to be the limit of this thing. I'm getting back in the camera again. But so, now let's use it as a selfie quadcopter. Let's take a picture. Another picture. Another picture. Okay, so that's its picture taking capability. Now I want to look under it while it's hovering there. I don't want my shadow getting under it because that'll probably mess it up. But the back lights are not blinking right now, so it's not recording video. When I took a picture, that stopped the video. So we'll start the video again. Now they're blinking. Getting back into the camera view. So how do you like my shirt today, folks? So, all in all, the sensor works, but you got to be close to the ground. You go too high, and that little optical flow sensor just isn't hacking it. But once you're about 6 feet or below, it seems to work. Okay, let's go a little bit lower. Right about there. You know, let's see if we can do a little bit of translational flight, and will it stop itself? Letting go, and yeah. So it seems to be altitude limited at about 6 feet. Let's take this for a flight around and see how, let's go to higher rate and see how it performs as a flyer. It's just a flyer, it flies nicely. Flies very nicely. Let's do a flip, coming by, coming closer. You gotta hold the flip button down to do such, but it drops quite a bit of altitude when it does that. Let's do a backflip. Okay, so don't do flips. It doesn't like them. Okay, now we learned that. Turning the camera off to get that video, what we got so far, and turning the camera back on again. Make sure the light's blinking. It's blinking. Taking to the air again, automatic takeoff. Going back to high rate. So it appears that flips are a no-no with this particular drone, but it does fly nicely. So if you just want to have fun with it, you're not going to be able to fly FPV with this, obviously, because of the lag. You know, it's a Wi-Fi FPV flyer, and those just don't do it. You just can't go by the scenery on your phone and fly it FPV. To do FPV with this, you got to go really slow. Really, really slow. Okay, let's see if I can fly toward myself. I'm going to turn my back to the camera and try to find myself first. Now look, I'm turning to the left, turning to the left. I got the back to the camera, or back to the quadcopter, looking for myself. Probably, there I am. Let's see if I can fly to the left of me. Slowly, giving a little bit. See, got a little bit of lag, got to go a little bit, pitch forward a bit. It's just to my left. So this is how you got to do it. And again, it drops off quite readily, you know. So as with all Wi-Fi FPV flyers, I just don't recommend flying them FPV. You use the FPV to aim the camera, mainly, with these, as a camera bird. We still recording? Let's go up higher a bit. Still recording the video. Got a blinking green light, and that seems to be the end of its flight. So, yeah, let's stop that video, make sure we got it. I'm hitting the button 2 more times just to make sure I got a video recording. So, that is the X5UW-D. Incorporation of a new little optical flow sensor. However, it's a very tiny optical flow sensor. You got to be close to the ground, about 6 feet, within 6 feet of the ground, in order for it to work properly. But other than that, I don't know how the camera came out. We'll find out here in post-production, but I hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.